So way back in 1996, my friend Matt had the idea for Pong, but with electricity and magnetism. How does this work, you might ask? Well, so in normal Pong, you have two paddles on either side of the screen. In this case, the paddles have charge. The left one, as you can see, has positive charge. The right one has negative charge. When a puck touches a paddle, it takes on the charge of that paddle. This means once the puck takes on the charge of your paddle, it'll accelerate away from your paddle and accelerate towards the other paddle, speeding up the play. I'm not sure why the sound effects don't always come through, by the way. Probably some problem with the emulator I'm using to run this. Here you see a visualization of the electric fields. Blue for negative, red for positive. But what's even more interesting are the magnetic fields. Whenever you move your paddle, it generates magnetic forces perpendicular to the motion of the pucks. Here you see the magnetic field lines. What this means is that you can curve the pucks even when you're not touching them. This has its pros and cons, of course, because as you can see, you'll often accidentally do that. Let's see that again. Can't do that in regular Pong. Another interesting thing that can happen is that power-ups can actually change the charge of your paddle. In this case, when both paddles are the same charge, you start playing Pong without necessarily even touching the pucks. You can see here that you're essentially just repelling the pucks away from your paddle towards the other paddle, and sometimes you end up with a bunch of pucks in the middle of the screen. And when you look at the magnetic field lines, everything's kind of crazy. You'll see that the pucks sometimes actually orbit each other due to the magnetic forces they exert on each other. Now, I actually amplify the magnetic forces a bit for effect. In practice, the electric forces would be far, far stronger than the magnetic forces. But hey, anything for gameplay. So I never really finished this game, but maybe someday I'll rewrite it for modern computers.